climate change, eco-friendly behavior, and sustainable solutions. Definition and problems. Climate change is a term to coin Earth's rising temperatures primarily as a result of trapped gases in the atmosphere. The problems created by climate change that are attributed to the Earth's rising temperatures are the greenhouse effect, carbon emissions, examples globalization and industrialization, agricultural farming practices, environmental problems. An example would be natural disasters, significant ecological effects for historically disenfranchised communities.
There are consequences to climate change to include ecological, physiological, psychological, and social effects. The ecological effects include more frequent and severe natural disasters, rising sea levels, and global pollution. Some of the physiological responses could include respiratory illnesses and heat stroke. Some of the psychological and social effects could include what was dubbed as the heat hypothesis, which was coined when individuals were studied in a laboratory and revealed individuals who were exposed to uncomfortable amounts of heat were more likely to display aggression. And this proposes some potential impacts on social systems and impact socially within communities. At this point in the presentation, you may be wondering what are some eco-friendly behaviors that you can implement to mitigate the ecological effects of climate change. Some that came about throughout our research was limiting the consumption of mass-produced goods such as fast fashion, donating used items and buying secondhand from thrift shops, also reducing one's carbon footprint by recycling, conserving energy where possible, and investing in alternative power sources and renewable energy resources such as solar. Also engaging in neighborhood and community cleanups or oceanic cleanups, given the immense amount of pollution in the sea if you live or reside near a coastal community. And of course, voting for legislation that demands government regulation to help with pollution efforts and support for disenfranchised areas at a global level, such as the Philippines. In addition to the eco-friendly behaviors, some sustainable solutions with regard to climate change could be implementing sustainable land use practices like reforestation and regenerative agriculture and sustainable farming solutions. Also, introducing heavier fines for any breaches of legislation, changing the way that we produce and trade at a global level through concepts like globalization, encouraging businesses to engage in sustainable behavior or mandating it through legislation. For example, the way companies discard of materials or manage productions. Also, providing more information and education to the general public and investments in research and development to find any technological advances or solutions that could help mitigate the effects of climate change. Also, research and training beginning in grade school to create a high level of awareness for youth to be aware for their responsibility in combating climate change. And lastly, integrating nature-based solutions or NBS in adaptation strategies and mitigation plans to foster collaborations at a global level between nation states to aid disenfranchised areas who are going to, in a projection state, catch the brunt of the ecological effects of climate change as they already are, such as the case of the Philippines, who's suffering immense waste disposal due to all of the fast fashion that's being mass produced and disposed of within their native area. In the words of Ernest Hemingway, the earth is a fine place and worth fighting for. Thank you.